Welcome back to At Titi's House podcast.
Episode 39.
Episode 39. So that means how many months? Over a year and a half? Almost going to be 2 years in February, huh?
Yeah, almost 2 years in February.
They say good things come to those who wait.
Yeah.
So we just going to keep plugging along.
Going. Some weeks we miss. Sometimes it's 2 weeks in between. But as long as we keep continuing.
The consistency is what's key.
Yeah,
it's hard. I'm just going to say it's been a rough one. You know what I'm saying? It's been a rough year, I'm going to say.
You think so?
Yeah, for me. I don't know. I feel like it's been a rough year for me. Life has definitely been lifing. You know what I'm saying? And new job and just trying to get acclimated and just learn my way. That's always hard and stressful. I don't know if people know this, but Titi suffers from anxiety. So when I get anxious and stuff, I can't function. Things are happening. Even I think we were going to tape
the other day,
and I was just like,
things that just came out of nowhere in it.
I was just like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was my tenants were moving out. And when I tell you they left a mess, like I can't, I'm OCD. I'm just controlling of my environment, my surroundings, and controlling of myself. I don't think I control other people. Do I?
You would have to ask your partner that. Us being your kids.
I don't have a partner anymore.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I am single and ready to mingle. So, anyways, I don't feel like I am, but I do feel like if there's some chaos around me, and I felt like that day it was so chaotic. It was like, okay, so they check out. Of course, you go down there to look and assess the situation. And when I was assessing the situation, I was like, oh my freaking God. These people were a mess, and I don't know what to do. And the room is a mess. Like, you shouldn't have to tell grown people to clean up after themselves when you're moving. I ain't your fucking maid. I am not your maid. Why do you think that I'm going to come and clean a bedroom that you slept in for the last 6 months? Now, I did tell him, I gave him some checkout instructions and said, hey, when you leave, and make sure the main priority for me is to clean the bathroom and the kitchen. Make sure the refrigerator's empty. Make sure you've cleaned it. You've cleaned the kitchen.
How'd they do?
Man, if I could show you the pictures that were left behind. I had to hire a cleaning service to come clean. And you know me, I'm OCD.
Yeah, you usually do it yourself.
I usually do it myself, people, but I could not because I became so overwhelmed in that moment because I always think that people are going to treat you how you treat them, with respect and, courtesy. I've been courteous and respectful the whole time you've been in my Airbnb. Like, why would you not think?
I mean, they probably were just some people are just messy, no matter what.
Yeah, but you're grown. You're grown. Nobody needs to tell you to clean up. Does somebody have to tell you to clean up? Soda bottles, water bottles, potato chip wrappers, dirt. It's like, I'm not Asian, but I don't wear shoes in my house because when you guys come over here, you lay on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I always want my floors to be clean. It's funny because Alana laughs all the time. She's like, you are the only person's house that I've ever been to and took off my shoes and there's no grit on the floor. Do you sweep every day? And I was like, I do. I sweep every day. I have a little dog, so I'm constantly vacuuming and sweeping because I don't want anybody laying on hair or anything like that. And he does shed periodically when his coat is being shed. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, oh my God. Like, I just felt so disrespected when they left. And I know that's probably corny and people probably don't understand it, but it's the OCD in me. So I could not do my podcast because it was stressing me out.
And did they get was it through Airbnb or was this something separate? It was nothing you couldn't charge them extra or nothing for the cleaning fee?
I'm going to say it was a short-term rental. It was not through Airbnb. Word of mouth, somebody referred them to me. They were moving into the area, needed a place to stay. So I was like, all right, I'll give them a chance. You know what I'm saying? And I could pull off Airbnb anytime I want to and do a private rental. So I do that a lot of times. But this is the first time that I really have had. I charged them a deposit that was not enough to cover
You might have to double that.
the stuff that I had to replace down there. and the cleaning that I had to pay for. And somebody referred me to the cleaning lady, and I was just like, I could have probably did a better job, but I just
Really?
didn't have the time.
Yeah.
It was my time at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It stressed me out. But there was a lot of stuff wrong going down there. The keypad is not working. Like, how are you getting in and out of the house?
Yeah.
Like, the keypad is not working. The alarm system, something wasn't right with all the sensors had to be changed. Like, it was just so much stress. And I had turnaround time for me 48 hours because I had someone checking in from Airbnb. Because I'm a super host and I can't decline them, because when I decline them, they take my super host status. And that's a whole year that you have to
Build
build it back up.
So you got to accept everybody to have.
You have to accept everybody. You should be, or your calendar shouldn't be open. And I had my calendar open because I hadn't had no hits. And then all of a sudden I get a hit for 8 days and I'm like, oh my God, I got to clean up. I got to do this. I got to do that. I was just, I couldn't function. So I'm good now, but because, hey, when I'm making money, I don't care because I'm making money. But at the end of the day, it was getting to that point. So right now, I'm back on Airbnb. If you're coming to the Atlanta area, I'm a super host. So I come up first for East Point in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So come check me out or ask Titi for her Airbnb link, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, come spend some money.
Come spend some money in Atlanta. It's picking up again, Airbnb, just because it's the summertime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how I figured. Summertime.
Yep. So I started doing this intermittent fasting. Have you ever done the intermittent fasting?
No, I'll be hungry.
I think Sin does it, though.
Yeah, Sin
He told me about it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do this intermittent fasting because I want to try to. Matter of fact, it just pinged me to tell me to start fasting. So I fast for 12 hours and you fast for 16 hours and then you eat.
For the other 8?
Yeah, the other 8 hours.
So what you fast from 7 p.m. to
11
a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it's pretty good. I've lost like 5 pounds and I'm really not trying to lose weight, but I am following like a strict high protein diet. Which is, I could see the difference already.
Really?
I feel like I can anyway. Might be all in my head.
As long as you feel good.
Like I feel like my muscles, look at the muscles. They're growing.
Look at the muscles.
Look at them muscles, boy. No, it's funny because people always tell me like up here, like do you lift weights and stuff? And I'm like, yeah. And they was like, damn, them shoulders look strong. What? It's funny because it was a white guy that told me that. And I was like, what? And he was like, you must lift weights. And I was like, why? And he was like, your shoulders look strong. And I was laughing.
That was his pickup line.
Yeah, it probably was. He was the window man. I was getting.
Oh, for real?
They came and gave me an estimate for the windows. But it was funny because I was like, never thought about that. But I guess so, sir. But anyway, I started doing the intermittent fasting. You can only drink coffee, black coffee, tea, and water while you're fasting. And it's so hard because, I drink a cup of coffee as soon as I get up in the morning. So it's like, oh, my God, this is awful. I got to drink this black coffee. But I've been doing it. It's been hard, but I've been doing it because, I like creamer in my coffee. So, but I've been learning a lot of tricks. And Instagram is I follow a lot of people that work out. So a lot of their regimens, like people make 4-ingredient bread. People make these cottage cheese pancakes, like cottage cheese tarts and stuff. And I'm like, that's high protein. And I was like, wow, people are really creative. People are creative.
They got time on their hands, too.
Man, the way that they're eating, like this guy made bagels. Like out of 3 recipe bagels, 3 ingredient.
Yeah, like what? What was in them?
Oh my God, it was like cottage cheese and egg.
And water or something, right? Yeah, what else?
Yogurt.
Yogurt, okay.
Greek yogurt. Just mix it like a batter, and then you just pour it and make it kind of thick or whatever. You put it on parchment paper, it becomes crispy.
Really?
And then you just, I thought it was a bagel.
Yeah.
I was like, this is freaking amazing.
And they were high protein then, right?
High protein because you got the yogurt and you got the, whatchamacallit?
Yeah.
I've made the spinach wraps. So it's spinach, a cup of spinach, a cup of cottage cheese, and 1 egg. And you blend it up, and then you just put it in the oven, or you could put it in the pot. I put it in the pan, and I made it, and it was good. And you just roll whatever you want to put in there. You could put all vegetables, or if you want to put ham and cheese, whatever. And you're not
Sounds
eating
good.
bread. Man, it was really, really good. I was like, people are so, I'm just so, like, I'm not that creative, but I'm like, people are so creative when it comes to eating and making sure that they're hitting their, because
goals.
that has been my biggest problem with working out, is hitting my protein goals. Do you have a problem hitting your protein goals? Because you're a vegetarian.
Yeah, but I don't really keep track. I try to eat stuff that, like, I eat a lot of,
Beans and stuff.
yes. And even every morning I've been eating like a grits bowl.
Oh.
Like the grits and then 2 pieces of sausage
Yeah.
and some bacon and then eggs all mixed up. And
Like
it's
real bacon and real eggs?
Nah, the veggie bacon and veggies. Yeah.
Oh, veggie
real
sausage,
eggs,
yeah,
veggie
but real
bacon
egg.
and veggie
Okay, I
sausage.
got you. I'm wondering because, like, how do you hit your protein? But you can eat cottage cheese and stuff. You like cottage
I've been
cheese?
getting Greek yogurt recently, like in the last month or 2.
Okay, so you
I've been
can-
starting to pay more attention to it now that I'm really trying to gain.
Yeah, because I'm
more
trying to
muscle.
gain too, and
Yeah.
it's hard to gain muscle. It really, really is, man. I even see like changes in my body from, probably like there was a picture I posted, and that was like from 3 years ago, and I was like, dang, I was a lot more cut then. Like, what was I doing then? But I think back then I was just running more.
Yeah.
So I was more slender. Now I'm more lifting more. So I feel like my body is more
Like just bulky and strong.
bulky and stronger. Like I'm stronger than I was, because I think I started with 5-pound weights, moved up to 15 pounds. So I perceive maybe next year I'll be doing maybe 20 pounds.
20s, yeah.
20s. But I don't really want to get big. And it's funny because a guy told me, like, why wouldn't you want to get big
Yeah.
though? Women that are muscular look good. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I don't want to get big, because once you stop working out like that,
Turn into fat.
it turn into fat, and I can't.
Yeah.
Man,
You see, like them old bodybuilders that used to be on steroids and be winning
all that
championships.
stuff.
They all got
they
guts
turn
now.
guts and fat and stuff, and I was like, I don't want that to be me, because I'm just not gonna lie to y'all. I hate working out.
Really?
I just do it because I feel good.
Yeah, same.
But I mean, you have to be it's a change of lifestyle, a change of how you think, and how you,
Discipline,
yeah,
all
it's
that.
discipline, consistency. Like, that's hard work. I ain't gonna lie. Working out is hard work, and you gotta Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I lift weights. The other 2 days, I do take 2 days off, but I like
That's
Monday.
usually what I do too.
Yeah, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I'm working out. Like Mondays, I do just upper body, everything upper body. Wednesdays, I do everything lower body. And then I do abs at those days too. And then on Friday, I do a whole routine, upper, lower, and abs.
Put it all together,
Yeah,
yeah.
all together. So, and then it's because I want to make sure I'm hitting it at least, 2 times a week, everything. So, but it's just more time consuming to try to do it 3 days a week. I feel like I'm in the garage, because my garage is my gym. I feel like I'm in there for like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, that's about right.
Man. So I'm just like upper body, lower body. And then, like I said, and then the other days I just do cardio. At least, but I do cardio every day, because my office is set up for me to do cardio. So I will get on, I have a walking pad treadmill in there. I will do that for an hour, or I do my stair stepper for an hour. So I do it, but I'm doing it throughout the work day while I'm working.
Yeah, so it's not a task like that.
Right.
feels
It's not like,
it's
oh my
taking so
God,
much
I got to
time.
work out. Yeah. So I'm always, but like I said, it's a lifestyle. It's a way of changing your mind to think, okay, I got to get this in.
And I feel like it makes you calmer too, though. Like just in
It is. It's a stress
situations. Yeah,
reliever.
stress reliever.
Definitely.
And that's what I usually my highest benefit that I think I get from it. It just keeps the anxiety
And it keeps the
down.
anxiety down too. I think so too. That's for sure with me. I think it allows me, because I work out in the morning, and then if I can't get it all in, so I usually get up around 6:30, maybe 6:30. Get up, get myself together, get in there and start working out. If I don't finish my routine, then I'll just go to work, take my lunch break. That's the best thing about working from home now. It's like, you can definitely get a lot accomplished and still be productive at work. Because you got a lunch break, you're not moving anywhere, you're just at home, and you can just, for me, people like to go out and go to the gym. I hate going to the gym. I prefer to do it at home.
Yeah, me too.
So I know I gotta spend a little bit more money on my gym though. It's time to advance
it's
a little bit.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm in them stages too.
Yeah, because it's like the free weights is cool, but it's more weight. You got to buy more weight.
Yeah.
I want to get I got a squat machine, but I want to get like
The real weighted machines.
Yeah, like the weight machines where you can do the back
Yeah.
rows and all that stuff. Like I want to advance a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that's my next big purchase.
Mm-hmm.
That's my next big purchase. So instead of buying some shades, that's what I should have been thinking. So anyway, today on Titi's House Podcast, I want to talk about, did you watch the debate?
I didn't.
Oh my God.
I heard some reviews. I want to hear what your reviews are on it though.
Okay, so I didn't watch it in live because I already knew it was going to be a hot mess. And the fact that President Biden said about himself that he didn't do well.
Oh, he
did you hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Biden said he did not do well. So when the president of the United States tells you that he didn't do well, what does that tell you?
At least he's honest, I guess, but don't vote for him again is what I would take it as.
Oh, my God. I wouldn't say that. That's so extreme.
But if he's telling you, yo, I didn't do a good job, and next time I'm going to do even worse.
I think it's like, do you think it's that, because people are saying it's his old age, but I don't think it's that. I think it's preparation. I feel like he doesn't take Trump serious as far as the running partner. What do you think about that? I think it's like,
I think he's old. He be forgetting what he talking about. He forget where he at. He just be looking around.
No, why do you say that?
He just be looking like, am I the president? Like,
oh my God, don't say that.
He just seems super old and not he's not in his body. I don't know. He's just moving.
I feel like they don't take this election serious. I don't think he does, and I think Trump was a clown too. Yeah. Both of them were clowns on that debate. I'm sorry. I hate to say it.
I heard he was up there arguing about who swings the golf club better. He was like, he doesn't even.
They
got
were
a good
giving
swing.
each other. He was talking about Biden's age, and Biden's like, "You're not that far behind me." I think Trump is like 78.
I mean, he a little more active than he still be with some porn stars and stuff. So.
Oh my God.
He getting it in a little more.
I mean, it's like you had. By the way, it was 51 million viewers.
Really?
Watching.
That's more than the Super Bowl, right?
I guess. 51 million viewers tuned in to the presidential debate with Trump and Biden. And it was a hot fucking mess.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And I'm going to just tell you, Trump is ahead of Biden.
He is winning?
48% to 45%.
Dang.
We're not taking this serious at all. I don't see any seriousness in the 2024 debate.
We're going to war soon.
It's like, it's a shame. Oh my gosh. So, did they say did they pick, Google to see who he's picking for
his running mate, Trump?
Yeah, like who are his options in the Republican Party? Because I know they should have the options out there.
Yeah, because he was supposed to confirm it
at the debate.
Yeah,
and he didn't.
He's considering several running mates.
I'm so disappointed.
Who could be Trump's vice president? Let me see. So it says Doug Burgum. He's the governor of North Dakota. Mm-hmm. Tulsi Gabbard, former House member of Hawaii. Vivek Ramaswamy, he's a businessman. And then Marco Rubio from Florida.
Oh, so those 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So those are the 4. Oh, and some guy named Tim Scott.
Tim Scott. And what does he do?
Tim Scott is a senator from South Carolina.
Wow.
He got a couple black people. It's not just all, there's some women on here too.
Okay.
There's a couple
I think he'll pick a woman just so that it goes against.
Match with.
Yeah, with Biden.
And then so people can't, he doesn't have the upper hand in that. Man.
It's like, I feel like this is a rematch of 2020.
It is.
And that we just don't have two good candidates. And the Latino voters, by the way, man.
Your people.
My people are shifting their votes to Trump after a long history of supporting the Democrats. This is saddening to me because the agenda for him is still immigration. That hasn't changed, people. And it's not going to change. So then the fact that he said on the debate that the immigrants are coming and taking the black jobs.
That was
You're
funny.
always trying to put blacks and Latinos as though Latinos are the only immigrants coming into this country, which we're not. Mm-hmm. There's Asian immigrants. You know what I'm saying? It's just not just Latinos. There's Africans.
Yeah.
Come on. You're pitting freaking blacks and browns against each other again. And then it's so funny because this guy posted a video and he was like, okay, I just came from the border. He said, where are the black jobs?
Yeah.
Man, I posted that on my Instagram because I thought that was the funniest thing ever. Like, you're saying black jobs as though...
Yeah, what are black jobs?
What are black jobs? Are you talking about the jobs that immigrants come to do? Washing dishes when they come in, working in the restaurant business? Because there's no other options. They're either opening their own lawn care services or they're working for someone else to establish something so that they can, send money back home or so that they can establish their own businesses, right? Mm-hmm. But the fact that you say black jobs as though black people can only work the lowest of the lowest paying jobs.
That's grimy. It's like, what do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? And y'all are going to vote for him? Like, I've heard some black people say that they're going to vote for him.
I mean,
because they said that Biden is old. Mm-hmm. That is true. Biden is old. I mean, has he done a good job this last 4 years? Probably not.
No, he's done a horrible job.
But is it his fault? You got to think of how the country was given to him. Yeah. Each president is cleaning up from the previous president. And it takes 4 years. This is his first term. So it takes them 4 years. Just think about it. It takes them 4 years to get things going, right? Mm. To get things cleaned up from the last president. Things that Trump had done in the last presidency that he's had to come back and clean up. Just think about that for a moment.
I mean, but when Obama was in there his first term, he got stuff done, and it wasn't a question of...
But a good president left things undone. Remember? We did have another president. That was Clinton.
Oh, it wasn't Clinton.
It wasn't Clinton?
Clinton was in the 90s. You missing 20 years.
I wanted to be Clinton so bad. Who was it? Before Obama.
Let's see, presidents.
I forgot.
American.
Oh, was it Bush?
Might have been, but I don't know. I feel like
I forgot already, y'all.
It was Bush. Dang.
Okay, it was Bush.
2001 to 2009.
Bush left the country in good standing.
Yeah, I guess he did do it.
Yes, you have to think about that. He left Obama. He set him up for success. Every president should be setting the next one up for success, if it's possible, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like we have to give him a fair chance. Yes, he's old, everybody. We know that age is nothing but a number. He does probably need to take some ginkgo biloba.
What's that?
For brain health.
Mine?
Yeah. Retention and stuff, because you said he was forgetting stuff. I don't know, because I didn't watch the whole thing. But I want to say that the next term would be better than the last if we voted for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Really, there's not two good choices.
Exactly.
There's not two good choices. People, please do your research. Please do not just elect somebody in office because he's giving you a stimulus check. That is all. I've heard people say, Man, he gave us a stimulus. $1,200? Mm-hmm. Really, y'all? Some people didn't even get $1,200. $1,200 that you got, they gave you that money, you fucking fools, because they knew that you were going to go push it back into the economy.
100%.
You were going to spend it. They knew people were in a position that, okay, we're going to give them this money, but it's going to circulate back in our economy. That's the right thing to do, is to give you money. Any president would do that. Biden didn't give us no money, did he?
No.
Well, yeah, I didn't think so.
He forgot.
That probably would have went a long way with the American people.
Yeah, he forgot.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, we could be buck. America is all about the dollar. Who giving us bread?
Man, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So they said whites, 38% of them will vote for Biden and 49% for Trump. In the case of Hispanics, the figures are 45% for Biden and 39% for Trump. That's gaining momentum. That's what they're saying. My goodness, Latinos, it's still a immigration agenda for him. Like, I don't understand why you would even still want to vote for him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, you're putting your people out of the country. You know, we're here to... the country was built off the backs of immigrants and slaves. What are y'all thinking? I don't know. I'm just so disappointed in all of that. I was trying to find, my computer was acting crazy, but I wanted to find, there was an article about Trump's agenda for, like, the things that he's lobbying for his election. Agenda for 2024 election.
Man.
And I remember we said it was 30 million that he got from when he became a convicted felon.
Yeah.
53 million.
50 double.
$53 million.
And counting.
Oh my God.
Hey, how much does it cost to run? I mean, I guess it can't.
Man, you got to have a lot of money to. So he basically got 53 million. So this is his agenda for
this 2024.
2024. The candidates in their key issues, Trump's key issues on. Was that thunder? Like it's gonna rain. Climate change is one. Mm-hmm. So apparently, he withdrew when he was president. He withdrew the United States from the Paris Agreement, a global climate initiative that Biden rejoined once he took office. Mm-hmm. So Trump had backed us out of it. So he'll probably back us out of that again. So he's vowing to increase domestic oil and gas production and has said he opposes existing government subsidies for wind power development. So he wants to do everything internally within the United States instead of us going out to other countries and getting resources, right?
Yeah, which is good.
That is good for us. That's what we should be doing in the United States.
Is this Trump or Biden?
This is Trump.
Okay.
Crime and policing. Public safety is a major concern for him.
Yeah.
Particularly crimes committed to undocumented immigrants, a centerpiece of his campaign. Y'all already know you committed crime as an immigrant.
Yeah.
Adios, amigos. You're going to be gone.
Yeah, for real though.
Okay? Where with Biden, you probably stay here a little bit longer and sit in our jail instead of your jail. If you're with Trump, baby, adios, amigos. You're going to be gone. So that's one. Education. He wants to close the U.S. Department of Education.
Why?
And have the states control education. Is that a great idea?
No, I mean, it doesn't sound like one. It could only go, they're going to teach what they want to teach them, right?
Yep. So I mean, I don't, because you're taking the Supreme Court out of it if you take it out of the federal
And then
government.
people can put anything in books. Like it
Yeah,
could be
like I
anything.
don't think that's a great idea, but that's one of his key initiatives. The economy. They said he got some of the highest remarks from voters on his handling of the economy. $1,200 stimulus. That's what they're saying. Oh my God. So he says a Wall Street Journal poll in March found a majority of voters said that they trust him to do a better job than Biden in bringing down inflation, which was one of our top economic concerns, is inflation right now.
That's all they be talking about on the news.
That's it. Inflation. Every time you turn around, it's inflation. It's crazy. Groceries are expensive. I'd rather not eat, people. So Trump and his fellow Republicans passed a $1.5 trillion tax overhaul, which would expire during the next president term in 2025. He has criticized the growing federal debt through his critics point out that the nation's budget and debt increased under Trump's watch. So they said it increased. The debt increased during his watch. They see what I mean? Biden came in and he's trying to eliminate some of that stress that we're having. But
it was a pandemic, though.
It was a pandemic. And actually, that's what happens when you come out of a pandemic.
Yeah, it just was mad debt. Everybody was taking L's everywhere. And then it falls on the government in the end. Everybody needs to, buyouts and all that type of stuff. Loans to keep their business afloat.
And he's with not sending things over to other countries to develop. He'd rather do everything domestically here in the U.S. And it should be like that. Why is it that presidents don't focus on that anymore?
Because it's cheaper if you're going to
China.
Go over to China.
Yeah. That's the one thing that he said, that he wanted to start a trade war with China.
Yeah, I mean.
That was him. So
that's our biggest competition to me, China.
Yeah, China makes things cheap. But everything that they make is cheap.
Like you saying it's cheaply made?
It's cheaply made. I mean, order something from Amazon that comes from China. First of all, it's going to take about a whole 3 months to get here. And then when you get it, you're like, oh my God, it's too much to send it back. So what you end up doing, you end up keeping it because it's too much money to send it back. It's a pain in the butt to send something back.
Yeah, that's why I never ordered nothing online for real.
When I look now, when I purchase something from Amazon, I look to see if it's made in China or, I hate to say that, or if it's coming from China. I don't care if it depends on what it is, if it's made from China. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. So he's promoting an America First agenda that is suspicious of free trade and alliances with other countries, even NATO. Trump also wants to pull back on U.S. defense commitments, throwing into doubt aid to the Ukraine and its war with Russia. I'm surprised about that. They said if we let him be president, he's going to be over there talking crap and we're going to get beat up.
You think so?
How do you feel about that?
No, I think he'd be on go. Like, he ready to go to war.
I think but that, to me, that's so, it's like, for me, I would not vote for him because he's just not a good representation of our country.
Neither one of them are.
I feel like Biden is a representative. He's, an American man, a white man. I mean, he represents the country. In this moment, that's what we have. But he's not a felon. He's not a corrupt businessman.
Well, felons aren't allowed to change. Felons aren't allowed to be reacclimated into
So do you think
society.
that Trump is going to change?
No, I don't think he's going to change, but I'm just saying felons aren't allowed to have a chance.
Felons do have a chance, but I don't think that him...
You just don't like Trump, yeah.
I just don't feel like he's a good fit for this country.
Yeah. I mean, neither one of them are. To be honest, I wouldn't choose neither one.
Why do you feel like Biden is not? Like, what has he done that he doesn't look good for our country? What do you think it is?
He keeps falling. He can't even walk up stage without falling and tripping.
That's just old age. That's okay. We're all going to get old. He's too old. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
That he's just too old to be president.
Let Kamala do it. If it was up to me, let Kamala do it.
I don't know. I don't really like her either.
She better than both of them to me.
I think so too. Now, immigration. Trump has promised the biggest deportation and border arrest programs in American history.
Look, and all the Latins.
Latinos, por favor. Por favor, Latinos. Like, I don't know how much I can stress this. Don't vote for Trump.
Because he going to send
Por
all
favor,
y'all back home.
van a mandar todos los hispanos para atrás para sus países. I'm like, what do y'all want? Like, at the end of the day, for real. Like, that alone, I am not voting for him. I don't give a damn what he does. The fact that you have my people in cages, just that type of look for our country. You know what I'm saying? A country that was built on immigrants, built from immigration and from slavery. Like, you had people in cages. Like, just for that, I don't give a damn if you're the last man on earth. I'm still not voting for you. I just won't vote. And I'm not saying don't vote, because you do need to vote. Your vote counts. Mm-hmm. Then he has reproductive rights. Oh my God. We know how he wants the state to take ownership of reproductive rights, which I think I don't think the federal government should be involved either. I think it should be based on the states.
I don't think nobody should be involved in anybody.
Yeah, you're right about that too. But if it has to be somebody, I would prefer it to be a state issue, because I feel like we vote for our state politicians, and it's up to us as a community to really vote and determine who is sitting in those offices and who is for the people and not for the people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's what I think. And then,
no, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
It would be. It's more likely that they would get it right if it was state ran compared to the federal.
They said, do you know that he called President Biden broke down?
See, look.
He
That's
called
what he
him
said
old,
on the debate.
broke down. Yeah, in the debate, he called him broke down. Like, who does that? Like, do we remember that even though we are seeing this ourselves on TV through the eyes and the lens of these two people? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I know that it's a competition, but I don't think I've ever seen such a low-class debate ever in presidential history.
Yeah, they was up there roasting each other more than
anything. It was more like a roast session.
Yeah, exactly.
I felt like I was watching Kevin Hart and what's his name?
What, like the Rock?
Brady, no, when they had the roast session for Tom Brady. Yeah, I couldn't think of his first name, Tom Brady. But that's what I felt like I was watching. Kevin Hart and Tom Brady up there roasting each other. Like, at the end of the day, like, these are two very high political people that even Biden said, I didn't do a good job. When he says he didn't do a good job, that means he didn't do a good job, right?
Yeah.
He felt it. When he got off that stage, he probably was like, yeah, dang it.
They said that Biden said to Trump, you're a whiner and you lost the first time.
Oh, my God. And he even said, like, you're 78 or something like that. Yeah, by the time you're finished with this election, you'll be 80-something. You'll be my age.
The same age he is. Yeah,
the same age I am or something like that. Like, it was just like a hot mess. Can I say that? The presidential debate was a hot mess. Do they debate again, or is this the...
Oh, yeah, that was just the first one. Closer to the election.
I pray, I hope that for the next one, they really take it seriously. Because I felt like they played with the American people. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much confusion right now about the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, and people are really trying to honestly figure out, does voting really work? We're in a time where it's critical for us. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This decision is critical for us, for our country, for how people see us and how they view us. We had a guy that was a president that's a convicted felon now. Like, in the history of presidents, have we ever had a convicted felon? Mm-mm. Like, and I'm not saying anything about convicted felons can reform, but this is just recent. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? It takes a couple years for reform people.
It's still on them, like.
I'm sorry, I had to drink water. But I don't know, y'all. Please do your homework. Please, 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 please. I'm not saying vote for, I'm going to bleed blue regardless. I always say that. I'm bleeding blue. I am a Democrat. I will never vote Republican. I don't give a damn who it is and what they're talking about, what their agenda is. For me, Biden all the way because of immigration, because I feel like my people come to this country to work hard and to uplift and build better lives for their families. A lot of stuff I don't agree with. There's some stuff that I do agree with him, keeping things domestic.
Yeah,
Stop going outside of our country to do things. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that he does well. I'm not going to take that from him. But I don't think he is a great representation of our country. And for you Latinos that are, I ain't going to mention no names, for you Latinos that are even considering voting for him, shame on you. Especially when you know you might be first, second, third generation in this country. You came here as an immigrant and you're voting for someone who's
trying to stop that. That to me is a racist. He's a blatant, outright racist. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. And you can say whatever you want to say. That's what I'm sticking to. That's what my belief is, and it's my perspective. And I can say what the hell I want to say, right? Mm-hmm. That's my opinion. Everybody has an opinion. So please do your research. Please don't even listen to me. Go out and do your research. Go out and make sure that you're following the key initiatives for the election. Vote according to what you believe in. But always remember what class you stay in, because I think class has a lot to do with the decisions that you should be making, right? When I say middle class, you know what I'm saying? Rich, remember what class you belong to. Yeah, I don't feel like I belong to any of this American stuff, though. So
you don't?
I'm not with gangs. I'm not with feeling like I'm connected to something just because of how I was raised.
I mean, that's your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you guys always say, like, what am I vote for? It doesn't matter. It doesn't. My vote doesn't count. It does count.
I mean, I voted every election.
I know. I'm glad you did. I want you to continue to vote because it does make a difference. But I'm just saying, as people, we can't just follow the majority. You know what I'm saying? Or the minority. You got to do your own research.
Yeah, I think it's all based on personal beliefs.
Personal
like
decision, personal beliefs, personal, how you want to see the country run.
I'd rather have a robot. Put AI in there. We put some artificial intelligence in there for our president.
Oh my God. I don't know if that would be a good idea yet. I think we need to perfect AI first. But I think that there's a lot of people out here that are very political in their own states that I think would make great presidents.
Yeah, where are they? Why they didn't get a chance to run?
I don't know why. Maybe they're just, life is lifing right now, and maybe they're still young and they're not at an age where that they want to run for president. But there's a lot of qualified people. I would love. Can I just say this here in this thing? It's two people that I really love that I would want to see for president and vice president. I'm just gonna put it out there: Killer Mike and T.I. I feel like they are for the people.
I would definitely vote for them before either one of these.
Either one of these presidents. I don't know. For some reason, I just see that. Two people, president and vice president, like they're so involved in everything Atlanta, everything Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Such a great. Both of them are great speakers. Like I would love to see that, and I'm gonna put it out here: Killer Mike and T.I., president and vice president. There's people in every state though that are doing great things.
Yeah, groundwork.
People, start looking at your people within your community that are great speakers, that are there for the communities, that are uplifting, that are in politics. Like, that's the stuff we need to be going for. You know what I'm saying? That can turn this country around. You don't see the Martin Luther Kings anymore. You don't see the Malcolm X's anymore. That's not what we're seeing. It was funny because I was watching somebody I can't think of it now. Dang. I think it was Senator Warnock. I was watching and he was saying some stuff, and I thought he was very intelligent too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like him. I don't know why, but I thought he was intelligent. I did watch when he was running. Like, there's a lot of there's other qualified people. I don't know why they don't run. Is it that they feel like, is it the money? Because we can get behind you and push the agenda and get the money, right?
Yeah, I read it said it takes $500 million to run for the president to make it all the way to the end.
That's probably what's holding them back. Yeah. But you can get, people will put money They said even Trump got, how much did I say? 51 million? 53 million, between 51 and 53 million. And they said even small amounts were being put in. When I say small amounts, people, them small amounts add up over time. You know what I'm saying? If somebody believes in you and you're nominating yourself for the candidacy, we're going to support you if we believe in you. You know what I'm saying? If you're out there pushing the agenda, we're going to support you. The people are going to speak for you. The people are going to support you. Especially, I feel like since Obama, we have not had anything good.
Should we blame the
They said Michelle Obama could run right now as vice president.
Yeah. Should we blame the parties, though? Democrat and Republicans choose who run, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's on them just as much as we're mad at Biden and Trump for being able to run. We should be mad at the parties as well.
For nominating them to run.
What are y'all doing?
Yeah, I agree.
That's why I don't trust them. Why are y'all giving us these candidates?
Again.
Yeah, they just want it to be a revenge.
We felt like it's
revenge.
it's a disgrace to the country. You got the two same men. One is coming back as a convicted felon. Like at the end of the day, he was guilty. Oh, and they said that he was going to use this election
to wipe his charges.
No, not to wipe his charges, but to get back to the people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I gotta find that article. I'm gonna find and get back to y'all because I don't remember, but it was something like that he was gonna use the election as a get back. Like I'm gonna get my lick back for y'all.
Just like, all right, y'all gave me all these charges, but I'm still president.
I'm still president. Yeah, basically, like I'm still winning.
Yeah,
and y'all ain't. So at the end of the day, like I said, do your homework, do your research, make sure that you are making decisions based off of what you want to see, what you believe in. That's all I can say. I always try to think about how other people perceive us because I'm from a third world country and I think about the remarks that I hear when I'm in my country and they're talking about our presidents and America itself and saying, oh my God, y'all, it's messed up over there. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people come here, the land of opportunity, the land of the free. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to come over here. It's like some people do not want to come over here.
I'm trying to leave.
You say you're trying to leave.
For sure.
Oh, my goodness. So just think about all of that, y'all. Thanks for joining today at Titi's House Podcast. Follow us on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and I'm missing something, Apple Podcasts. Mm-hmm. All righty. We're out.